From the deepest part of the ocean to the most remote deserts, we have found microplastics everywhere.
And one group is pushing for a plastic bag ban in Asheville by the end of the year.
Right now, the city is looking into reducing plastic bag usage. Local nonprofit MountainTrue is encouraging it to do so. News
13's Taylor Thompson shows us how both the city and the environmental group are trying to solve a plastic bag problem.
MountainTrue is working to make Western North Carolina plastic-free, one bag at a time. The local nonprofit, MountainTrue, is working to keep the mountains as environmentally friendly as possible. One big way to do that is no more plastic bags.
We firmly believe it's something that we can do, and it's an easy lift for us to make a big dent in our greenhouse gas emissions, our fuel consumption, the litter we see on the roads, our landfill filling up.
I'm sure there are people out there who just don't think about the environment as much as they should, and maybe are going, oh, what's the big deal with plastic bags? What would you say to them?
A lot of people don't realize, but plastic is made by the fossil fuel industry. It's made from a byproduct of the hydrofracking process, and so it's directly tied to climate change. So if we can curb our use of plastic, especially in these easy ways by getting rid of plastic bags at the checkout and by not having styrofoam takeout containers, we can curb our climate impacts.
The issue with plastic is what it turns into as it breaks down, microplastics.
We are seeing microplastics show up in our human bodies. We're seeing them in wildlife, we're seeing them everywhere across the globe. We ingest about a credit card's worth of microplastics a week, as just through the air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink, the beer we drink. So the more plastic we put into the world, the more of these microplastics exist, and the more we ingest them over time.
Anna hopes to see a ban hit City Council's desk later this year.
You know, you don't have plastic bags in trees, they're not clogging storm drains, they're not causing, undue flooding in areas. You're not seeing it as trash across the side of the road. We want people to bring their own bags with them to the store. Every time they shop, every type of store.
And the city of Asheville has a survey open right now for anyone to share their thoughts on the idea of banning single-use plastic bags. To find that survey, you can head over to our website at WLOS.com.
Plans to more than double the capacity of the Haywood County Detention Center hit a snag. The county has only received one bid on the project, and it came in millions of dollars higher than expected.
County leaders are rejecting the offer, and as News 13's Rex Hodge shows us, they're changing the bidding process to a different option.
The estimate for the Haywood County Jail expansion project was $21.5 million. The single construction bid that came in was about $7 million more than that.
The bid came in at $28.1 million.
The bid came in from Hickory Construction and was rejected by county commissioners at their meeting Monday night.
When I was looking at the numbers on some of the construction materials, they were really out of line with what the architect had estimated.
Mosley Architects, handling the design, recommended turning the bid down.
Everything but detention equipment was way high from what all of our engineers are seeing. I mean, almost every one of them was way high.
The concrete price was 350% above what we had estimated.
With only one bid, we can't call this a responsible bid. There's no competition.
Commission Chair Kevin Ensley knows with inflation, estimating costs on a project that will take a year and a half to build is difficult. But he says the lack of multiple bids played a role too.
You could tell that there was the prices were inflated.
The county is now turning to a construction manager at risk bidding process.
Be able to get more bidders, and then we can look at the contractor we choose along with those bids and try to find savings there. As they send out proposals for construction managers, we look at that to try to figure out which one to pick.
Current economic challenges play a role in all this, including recent news of the Evergreen paper mill closing. That impacts revenues coming in to the county.
There'll be some revenue loss because of that. So that gives us pause also on this. But on the flip side, if the longer we put off building the project, the more it's going to cost.
Ensley says the board is trying to be responsible stewards of public money.
We want to make sure we get the best possible deal for the taxpayers.
Ensley says despite the funding challenges, plans for the expansion project will move forward.
We're continuing coverage tonight in the trial of a woman accused of causing the death of a 5-month-old baby at her daycare.
Members of the grand jury get to watch a video recording of police interrogating the woman. ABC 15's Tanya Brown is live outside the Dillon County Judicial Center where Judy Cox has been standing trial for the past 3 days. Tanya?
Connor, court just wrapped up for the day. Now, the jury got to hear what Judy Cox told a SLED agent about what happened the day of the incident. They also learned why that agent lost her job with SLED. You're looking at a video recording in February of 2019 when Judy Cox was questioned by SLED agent Cheryl McCall. McCall talked with Cox about the death of 5-month-old Jeremiah Thompson, who Cox was taking care of at her daycare.
If a crime had occurred, and if so, who committed it?
In the video, Cox demonstrated to McCall how she picked up Jeremiah after he started coughing.
I put my hand behind the head because that's like they look. And I said, son, what is wrong with you? And I said, what is wrong with you?
So you wrapped him up. I know you told me you shook him, so.
Yeah, I said, what's wrong with you? Wow, what are you doing? I mean, but I didn't pick him up and shake him. I didn't pick him up and shake him, y'all.
McCall continued to question Cox about if she shook the baby.
Because you were lying on yourself. You shook that child?
Cox says she was the only adult in the room with Jeremiah. She said in the video, when she realized something was badly wrong with the 5-month-old, she hollered for help. Prosecutors say another daycare worker administered CPR to Jeremiah, not Cox.
I did show these children like you say you do. Then why wouldn't you immediately start CPR? Why did you panic? You know why you did it? Because you knew there wasn't any use. No, I did not know that. I panicked.
The judge allowed testimony about McCall's termination from SLED. The lead prosecutor asked her about it.
Why were you terminated from SLED?
Policy violations.
Cox's lawyer went into the specifics of McCall's termination, which dealt with a child fatality case in October of 2022 in Marlboro County.
Isn't it true that SLED's investigation into your conduct related to this child death investigation revealed several instances where you failed to provide truthful and complete information to your supervisor, to DSS, and to SLED's internal investigators?
That was their finding, yes.
Prosecutors argued that incident happened nearly 4 years after Jeremiah's death and just isn't relevant to the case. Live in Dillon, Tanya Brown, ABC 15 News.
Thank you, Tanya. And the defense has several medical experts who will testify to refute what the state says caused the baby's death.